What if I told you that some people are flying first class for free in 2026, not because they're rich, but because they understand a system most people ignore? Every day, millions of people swipe credit cards without realizing they are sitting on travel rewards that could change how they move around the world. The truth is, airlines and banks have built a quiet reward economy where your everyday spending, rent, groceries, bills, fuel, can be converted into luxury travel experiences. But here's the part nobody explains clearly. If you don't structure it correctly, you get nothing, or worse, you lose money to interest. In the next breakdown, you're going to see how credit cards actually become a tool for unlocking first-class flights, how points are really earned, and why the free flight strategy is not a myth, it's a system.
Everyone thinks first-class flights are for the rich. You picture champagne, wide seats, priority boarding, and service that feels like a luxury hotel in the sky. Then you check the price and immediately close the tab. $2,000, $4,000, sometimes even $10,000 for long-haul routes. It feels completely out of reach. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people sitting in first class did not pay full price. In fact, a large percentage paid either a fraction of the cost or nothing at all. This is where the hidden strategy begins. Airlines operate on a system that most people don't understand. Seats, especially premium ones, are perishable assets. Once the plane takes off, any empty seat becomes zero revenue. So instead of letting those seats go unused, airlines created loyalty programs and reward systems to fill them strategically. And credit card companies saw an opportunity. Banks partner with airlines to issue credit cards that reward spending with points or miles. These miles can later be redeemed for flights, upgrades, or even full first-class tickets. But here's where it gets interesting. The real value isn't in everyday spending. It's in how these cards are structured.
Most premium travel credit cards offer massive sign-up bonuses. We're talking about 50,000, 80,000, even 150,000 points just for opening the card and meeting a spending requirement within a few months. Those points alone can sometimes cover an entire first-class flight. So the strategy isn't about spending more money. It's about redirecting the spending you already do. Rent, groceries, fuel, subscriptions, expenses you're already paying for can be routed through the right credit card to accumulate points rapidly. When done correctly, this turns your normal financial life into a reward-generating system. But there's a catch. If you carry a balance and pay interest, you destroy the entire advantage. Interest rates on credit cards are extremely high, and even a small balance can wipe out the value of any rewards earned. That's why this strategy only works if you treat your credit card like a debit card. Spend only what you already have and pay it off in full every month.
Another misconception is that you need to be wealthy or have a perfect financial profile to access these cards. While a decent credit score helps, many people qualify earlier than they think. The real barrier isn't income, it's awareness. Most people simply don't know how the system works, so they never take advantage of it. Meanwhile, those who understand it quietly accumulate miles, upgrade their travel, and experience luxury for almost nothing. This isn't a loophole that's illegal or secret, it's just underutilized. And once you understand the foundation, everything else becomes a matter of optimization.
Not all credit cards are created equal, and this is where most beginners make their first mistake. They assume any card that offers points or cashback will help them travel for free. That's not true. If your goal is a first-class flight, you need to be extremely intentional about the type of card you choose. There are two main categories: airline-specific cards and flexible travel cards. Airline-specific cards are tied to a particular airline. They earn miles directly with that airline's loyalty program. This can be useful if you frequently fly one carrier, but it limits your flexibility. Flexible travel cards, on the other hand, allow you to earn points that can be transferred to multiple airlines. This flexibility is crucial because it lets you choose the best redemption option rather than being locked into one system. Why does that matter? Because not all miles are equal.
One airline might require 120,000 miles for a first-class seat, while another partner airline might offer the same seat for just 70,000 miles. If you're using a flexible card, you can transfer your points to whichever airline gives you the best deal.
This is how experienced travelers extract maximum value. Now let's talk about sign-up bonuses, because this is where the real leverage comes in. A good travel credit card will offer a large bonus if you spend a certain amount within the first 3 to 6 months. For example, spend $3,000 and earn 60,000 points. That bonus alone could be enough for a business or even first-class flight, depending on how you redeem it. The key is not to overspend just to hit the requirement. Instead, plan your spending ahead of time. If you know you'll be paying for school fees, rent, or major expenses, time your card application around those payments. That way, you hit the bonus naturally without increasing your financial burden. Another factor to consider is annual fees. Some of the best travel cards come with fees ranging from $95 to $500 or more. At first, this seems like a downside, but in many cases, the benefits outweigh the cost. Priority boarding, lounge access, travel insurance, and state entitlements can easily surpass the annual fee if used properly.
Still, if you're just starting, it's better to begin with a mid-tier card that offers a strong bonus without an overwhelming fee. Finally, pay attention to point categories. Some cards give extra points for specific spending types, like dining, travel, or groceries. If your lifestyle aligns with those categories, you can accelerate your earnings significantly. Choosing the right card isn't about prestige, it's about strategy. Once you have the right tool in place, everything else becomes much easier.
The biggest trap in this entire strategy is overspending. People get excited about earning points and end up buying things they don't need just to hit a bonus. That defeats the purpose completely. The goal is not to spend more. The goal is to spend smarter. When you apply for a travel credit card, you'll typically be required to spend a specific amount within a limited time frame to unlock the bonus. This is known as the minimum spend requirement. Instead of forcing extra purchases, you need to redirect your existing expenses. Start with your fixed costs. Rent is usually the largest expense. While not all landlords accept credit cards, there are payment platforms that allow you to pay rent using your card for a small fee. If the bonus value exceeds the fee, it can still be worth it. Next, look at utilities and recurring bills. Electricity, internet, subscriptions. These are predictable expenses that can be shifted onto your credit card. Set them to auto-pay and let them contribute to your spending goal. Groceries and fuel are also powerful contributors. These are unavoidable expenses, and when charged to the right card, they can generate a steady flow of points. Another overlooked method is timing. If you know you have a large expense coming up, school fees, travel bookings, or even buying a new phone, apply for your card shortly before that expense. This allows you to meet the requirement quickly without changing your behavior. You can also help family members or trusted friends by paying for shared expenses on your card while they transfer the money back to you. This accelerates your spending without increasing your actual costs. However, discipline is critical. Always track your spending. Always know your repayment date. And most importantly, never carry a balance. Interest charges can be as high as 20% or more. Even a small unpaid amount can cancel out the value of your rewards. Think of your credit card as a tool, not free money. Used correctly, it becomes a powerful engine that converts everyday spending into travel experiences. Used carelessly, it becomes a financial burden. There's also a psychological aspect to this. People tend to spend more when using credit compared to cash. You need to be aware of this tendency and actively counter it. Set a budget, monitor your transactions, and treat every charge as if it's leaving your bank account immediately. Once you successfully hit your first bonus without financial stress, you'll realize how repeatable this system is. And that's when the real game begins. Earning points is only half the strategy. The real skill lies in how you redeem them. This is where most people lose value. If you simply use your points through a bank's travel portal at a fixed rate, you're often getting average value. It works, but it doesn't unlock the full potential. To get first-class flights for free, you need to understand transfer partners. Flexible travel cards allow you to transfer your points to airline loyalty programs. Once transferred, those points become miles within that airline system, and you can book flights directly through them. Here's the advantage. Airlines price award tickets differently than cash tickets. A seat that costs $5,000 in cash might be available for 80,000 miles. That's an incredible conversion if your points were earned efficiently. But there's a catch. Award availability is limited.
Airlines release a certain number of seats for redemption, and these can be snapped up quickly. This means you need to be flexible with your dates and sometimes your destination. Planning ahead is crucial. The best redemptions often appear months in advance, so if you know you want to travel, start searching early. There are also tools and platforms that help you find available award seats more efficiently. Another key tactic is understanding airline alliances. Airlines belong to global alliances, which means you can use miles from one airline to book flights on another. This opens up a wide range of possibilities and often better deals. For example, you might transfer your points to one airline but use those miles to book a first-class seat on a completely different carrier. This is where flexibility becomes power. Instead of being locked into one option, you can explore multiple routes and maximize value.
Also, don't ignore upgrade opportunities. Sometimes it's cheaper in points to book an economy or business class ticket and upgrade to first class using miles. This hybrid strategy can stretch your points even further. Finally, always compare. Before booking, check different airlines, routes, and redemption options. A small difference in strategy can save tens of thousands of points. Turning points into first-class tickets isn't about luck. It's about understanding the system and navigating it intelligently. Once you master this step, the idea of paying full price for premium travel will start to feel unnecessary.
Once you understand the basics, there's an entire layer of advanced strategies that can accelerate your results dramatically. One of the most powerful is card stacking. Instead of relying on a single credit card, experienced users open multiple cards over time to collect multiple sign-up bonuses. Each bonus adds to their pool of points, making high-value redemptions easier. However, this requires careful management. Opening too many cards too quickly can affect your credit score and may lead to rejections. The key is pacing. Apply strategically, space out your applications, and always maintain a strong payment history. Another tactic is leveraging referral bonuses. Many credit cards offer points if you refer someone who gets approved. If you have friends or family interested in travel rewards, this can become an additional source of points without any spending. Then there's category optimization.
Instead of using one card for everything, you use different cards for different spending categories. One card might give higher rewards for dining, another for travel, and another for groceries. This maximizes your point accumulation across all expenses. You can also take advantage of promotional offers. Banks and airlines frequently run limited-time deals where you can earn extra points or transfer your points with a bonus. For example, a 25% transfer bonus can significantly increase your redemption power. Another advanced move is point pooling. Some programs allow you to combine points with family members. This can accelerate your ability to book premium flights, especially if everyone contributes. There's also the concept of positioning flights. Sometimes the best first-class deal isn't from your home airport. You might need to take a short, inexpensive flight to another city where award availability is better. This extra step can unlock significantly better options. Finally, always stay informed. Reward programs change frequently. Airlines adjust their pricing, banks update their offers, and new opportunities emerge constantly. Staying updated ensures you don't miss out. At this level, the strategy becomes less about earning points and more about optimizing every move. You're no longer just participating in the system, you're using it to your advantage.
It's easy to get excited about the idea of flying first class for free, but it's important to stay grounded in reality. This strategy works, but only if you approach it with discipline. The biggest risk is debt. Credit cards are powerful tools, but they're also designed to generate profit for banks. If you start carrying balances, paying interest, or missing payments, the entire strategy collapses. Your first priority should always be financial stability. Only use this approach if you already have control over your spending and can consistently pay off your balance in full. Otherwise, the cost will outweigh the benefits. Another consideration is time and effort. Finding the best deals, tracking points, and managing multiple cards requires attention. This isn't completely passive. You need to be willing to learn and stay organized. There's also the issue of availability. You won't always find first-class seats exactly when you want them. Flexibility is part of the process. If your schedule is rigid, your options may be limited. However, when everything aligns, the payoff is significant. Flying in first class transforms the entire travel experience. More space, better service, priority treatment. It's not just about comfort, it's about efficiency and convenience. Over the long term, this strategy can become a lifestyle. Instead of viewing travel as an expensive luxury, you start seeing it as a system you can navigate intelligently. Every purchase becomes an opportunity to move closer to your next trip. But remember, the goal isn't just free flights, it's about maximizing value. Whether that means first class, business class, or simply reducing your travel costs, the principle remains the same. Use the system instead of being used by it. If you stay disciplined, informed, and strategic, what once seemed impossible becomes repeatable. And that's the real hidden advantage in 2026.
So here's the reality after everything. Flying first class without paying full price is not about luck, income, or insider connections. It's about understanding how to move inside a reward system that already exists. Credit cards are not magic, but when used with discipline, timing, and strategy, they become one of the most powerful tools for converting normal spending into premium travel experiences. The difference between people who enjoy free or upgraded flights and those who don't is simply knowledge and execution. But this only works if you stay financially disciplined, pay your balance in full, and treat the system as a tool, not a shortcut to debt. If you apply what you've learned consistently, travel stops being a luxury you chase and becomes a lifestyle you can actually control.